The world was a landscape of biting gray. The cold fog clung to the hillside like a heavy, suffocating shroud. His heart pounded, a desperate plea. The stillness of the night was shattered by a sound that chilled the blood, distant, fixed upon the shallow mound of earth. It moved with a predator's confidence, closing in on the defenseless child. In that moment of terror, Christian screamed not with his voice, but with a silent, piercing, spiritual sound that seemed to crack the very foundation of the forest. Suddenly, the air shimmered. A translucent, radiant barrier erupted around the child, a shield of pure light. The beast recoiled, its snarl turning into a whimper of confusion. It could not penetrate the divine protection. Defeated by a force it could not understand, the coyote slinked back into the shadows, leaving the child alone in the glowing circle of safety. Nearby, a woman walking her dog stopped abruptly. The night felt different, charged with an electric energy. Her dog began to whine, pacing frantically around a specific patch of earth. Radiant glow drew her gaze downward. She approached slowly, her heart racing, until she saw the small shape in the dirt. She recoiled in horror, a gasp escaping her lips as she realized what lay before her. With trembling hands, she dialed emergency services, her voice shaking as she pleaded for help. When the first police officer arrived, the mood shifted to one of grim finality. He swept his flashlight over the mound. "It is a crime scene," he said to his radio. "The child is gone." Christian heard the officer's words, and the weight of them felt like a physical blow. He felt his spirit dimming, the light of hope flickering out in the face of such cold certainty. Stellar tears, cold skin, a plea to the heavens. Why was he left in the dark? But then, a voice resonated through his soul. It was steady, calm, and filled with an ancient authority. God spoke, "Trust me, child. I am sending a man who knows how to listen. I am sending a servant who hears the whispers of the lost. He is coming to lift you up from the earth and bring you into the light." The warmth of the promise spread through Christian, sustaining him as the world around him remained frozen and gray. Miles away, the peace was shattered by the shriek of the fire station alarm. Blaster and his crew did not hesitate. They vaulted into the truck, the engine roaring to life as sirens began to wail. They abandoned the vehicle at the base of the hill, knowing every second counted. They sprinted into the tall, wet grass, their heavy gear clattering against their hips as they fought the incline. They pushed through the thickest part of the fog until they reached the summit. Blaster skidded to a halt beside the officer, his eyes scanning the ground. The woman stood back, weeping softly into her hands. Blaster dropped to his knees, his heavy boots sinking into the mud. With shaking fingers, he began to clear the dirt from the baby's face. His breath hitched in his chest as he saw the tiny features. He reached out, pressing his large, rough hand, cold cheek, life's flicker sought. In that touch, two worlds met: the broken earth and the promise of heaven.